Good evening, friends, and welcome you all. Welcome to all, and we'll start off with understanding what is data science and what kind of demand we have pertaining to data science in the market. What kind of job roles you might see, and various other things that are happening around in the industry. Hey, good evening, Jack. I think you have some shaky internet connection. Yeah, no problem. Right. Um, all right, guys. Well, most of you people are already have undergone the training or is undergoing the training, and you understand the demand for data science, right? Now, what do you actually understand the demand for data science? Have you gone through any kind of research? Have you done any kind of research on what kind of job roles are you generally seeing nowadays? Has anyone tried to do that? Yeah. Did anyone try and do that? Yeah, friends? Okay, Jack has done. So what did you understand about it? Yeah, if you want to share your experiences, Jack. Hello, Jack, can you hear me? Guys, this is a two-way communication that we're having for today's webinar. I want you people to share your experiences, okay? So let us understand by sharing the knowledge. Okay, Jack, you have, okay, maybe you can type in a few things. I understand that it is not that easy, but still, maybe you can type in what you have done till now. Anyone else who wants to share their experiences on understanding what kind of demand is there in the market right now? Have you gone through various job portals, websites? Have you checked what all companies or organizations are hiring analytics professionals? No? Okay. So, the entire world, okay, let me just talk about it. Let's see, okay, data scientists for automotive, medical industry. Of late, we did have a discussion about the analytics professionals requirement for construction business as well. Right? So this analytics is basically is a research domain. Research domain. Yes, absolutely, Oliver. So when you talk about research, we do research. In fact, R&D department is there in various organizations. In fact, all the organizations have R&D, including finance, including construction, retail, medical sciences. So this data science or analytics is kind of an R&D department which is actually trying to find out new ways to do the business, to run the business, to improvise the business. But in olden days, R&D was done based on the experiments, right? It was all about experimenting, taking various case studies, uh, user cases, and experiment. Now in analytics, what we do is we take the historical data, that is your experience, which would be collected in the form of data, and then we perform experiments on this data. Okay, that's all about analytics. Data scientist is a role, or it's a study of data to derive new ways to run the business, which would obviously bring in the profits for the organization. That should be the ultimate objective. Okay. Now, which company does not want profits, or which domain does not want profits? All the companies, right? If you imagine you are running a business, don't you think you would want to get profits for the organization? And don't you want to do your business, or don't you want to run your business in a more scientific way, so that there would be no process elapses, no mistakes in the first place, right? So all that would be possible if you do proper analysis. And for doing analysis, organizations are collecting data, which is of course called as a new oil now. We can take few examples in retail sector, retail domain. This is something everybody connects to. E-commerce websites. Now when you log into any of the websites like Amazon or Lazada, for example, and you want to purchase a product, you select the product and you see there's a bunch of recommendations happening, right? Bunch of recommendations. Now how these recommendations are designed? And these recommendations, mind you, are very, very, very personalized. They are personalized. That means the recommendations that you get would be entirely unique and different when compared to some other person's recommendations. Now, if e-commerce website has to do that, it needs to study the customer, right? Unless until you understand the customer, how can you do a recommendation for him? And that recommendation which is being done to the customer has to be calculated within a split of a second, right? So all that computation, all those logic implementation is done using systems. Because humans, we cannot do that, right? We cannot do so much fast calculations. So systems are considered here, which are nothing but your computers. And for these computers to run these logics and calculate the recommendations, we need to make sure they understand the customer. So if computer has to understand the customer, we need to train the computer using customers' data. This is what humans do, right? We learn. We learn things by experiencing them. And for non-living things, the computers, the experience is given by passing the data to them. And by looking at the data, computers would identify a certain pattern hidden in the data. And these patterns help developing these kind of recommendations and all that. Any new strategy that you want to deploy, this is what is done. This is a very vague example. I'm just quoting one example from retail sector. You can talk about automotives. Driverless cars is the best example. Everybody knows about this driverless car. Similarly, we also have finance domain, HR domain, you name it. Each of the domain has specific requirements, right? In order to run the business in a more appropriate way and get better profits, we need to identify the flaws in your data. Right? So this finance domain, we can talk about fraud analytics. Let's say a customer is applying for a loan. Now, if the bank has to approve the loan, right, it needs to first study the profile. And we need to upfront predict whether the customer is going to default on the loan or not. Very common example, every bank, every financial institute is trying to implement this logic now. We need to do prediction upfront so that you don't approve the loans to those customers who may default. This way, you are trying to reduce the loss for the finance domain, finance institution there. HR analytics. When we talk about HR analytics, you might want to upfront predict on whether a customer is going to accept the offer which is going to be released to the employee or that candidate even before you do the interview, conduct the interview. Because when you talk about interview process, right, hiring process, recruitment, HR department has to invest a lot of effort in conducting the interviews for the shortlisted candidates. They have to take the time of the functional team, technical team, right? Management. There's a lot of things and run in the background for HR team when they plan to recruit a new candidate. And of course, that is all basically we are talking about cost to the company. Now, imagine a HR team wants to recruit one person. To select this one person or one candidate, they would have to shortlist the candidates. Maybe there were 50 applicants who were applying for the job. Out of those 50 applicants, HR has to shortlist maybe 20 candidates. Then the technical team has to be coordinated and the interviews have to be arranged for these 20 people. Let's say 5 people were selected by the technical team. Then again HR teams take a call on who should be hired based on various discussions that go on. Maybe cost to the company, maybe other benefits and all those. Now let's say HR team decided one candidate, they have finalized one candidate and released an offer to him. Right? This is the generic process for HR team. Now what if at this stage the candidate does not take the offer, or maybe he takes the offer but he does not join? There could be multiple reasons. Maybe the current organization he is working on, maybe they have retained him by giving better opportunity, better offer, or maybe the candidate has multiple offers and he has chosen one of the best among them. So for this organization, let's say XYZ, I'm calling this organization as XYZ, has invested so much of cost, time, energy. And at the final moment, at the final stage, after releasing the offer, if the candidate is not joining the company, the entire effort that this organization has put has gone in vain. Now, how do you reduce this cost? How do you optimize this process? So here we have various solutions. In fact, we have built one solution here where we upfront predict whether this candidate is going to join the organization or not, provided we release an offer letter to him even before conducting that interview to the person. So on this shortlisted candidates, we run the algorithm, we run the model, and then we predict which of those people might accept the offer. And only for those people we conduct the interviews. We do not conduct interviews for all the 20 people. Maybe we found that only 10 people would be accepting the offer. The rest of the 10 people may not accept the offer, even provided to them. So in such case, why should I invest my time on those people? I can invest my time on only those people who might accept the offer, isn't it? So this makes the entire HR team's efficiency very much in line to the organizations, so that they can reduce the cost, right? So this is all what we can achieve if you apply data science concepts and do a proper analysis on the data by performing machine learning, artificial intelligence, or deep learning implementations. Right? There are a lot of things that you can do. In short, I'm saying analysis needs to be performed, and we need to develop new strategies to streamline the processes and reduce the cost for the organization. Now, because of all these implementations that are possible, or that are in fact made possible by data scientists, we have seen a lot of demand of late for data scientists. You can call them as data analysts, you can call them as data engineers, though the scope is a little different, but ultimately all of them are dealing with data, and directly or indirectly they are assisting the organizations by doing a proper analysis on the data. And as a whole, we call these roles as data science or data scientist roles. We have various other subcategories under data science. That's how I want to put it. Now, I would request everyone, right, to jump into various platforms, right? Various platforms like you have Indeed.com, you have Monster.com, you have Glassdoor, right? So all these job portals, I want you people to open them and try and search for data science. Just do this small search and see what kind of demand you have at the current date. In fact, Glassdoor, which is a very renowned job portal, which basically helps a lot of recruiters to find the profiles, has declared that data scientist is the most researched or most searched job profile consecutively from 2016. In fact, it has been in the top in 2016 and 2017, and it's still in the top charts. Let me search if I can find that article. Let me just do a simple search here. Glassdoor top jobs. Look at this. What do you see? What is the first role? In 2019, this is in US. Data scientist. Right? We can also look for salaries. Paying jobs. Top paying jobs. Highest paying jobs in Glassdoor. You can see it would be okay. Let me talk about IT. I think it has taken the entire domain, all the domains in IT. Information security, DevOps, software architect, technical program, and let me also show you comparative the job salaries. Yeah, this is the salary you see. 143K. This is in US. So you can imagine the demand that we have, right? If I say KL, Kuala Lumpur, data scientist jobs in Kuala Lumpur. So this is something you have to research, guys. I'm just showing you that this is the kind of demand we have in the industry right now. Okay, yeah. So data scientist, data scientist, all these are different roles that we have. Look at that, senior associate, data scientist. Again, you have another website in Kuala Lumpur specifically. So do this research. I would urge you people to do this research. Okay, and the basically what you have to do, right, is come up with your profile. Okay, first when you are applying for data science roles, I have shown you what kind of demand you have in the industry, but when you want to apply for these roles, you need to showcase that you are already a data scientist or you have some kind of experience in doing analysis with the data. Okay, and to project that, to make sure your profile is selected, you need to target the social media profiles. You need to highlight your profile on social platform. LinkedIn would be the first choice because organizations nowadays refer to the LinkedIn profiles of the candidates to understand what is his complete profile. If this is a public profile and you cannot lie on the public platform, right? So in a way, organizations trust LinkedIn. Okay, so try and create your LinkedIn profile if you do not have yet, and make sure you connect to multiple people. And these people who are you trying to connect, they should be from the data analytics world. People who are already working as data scientists, people who are already working in data engineering roles. Maybe you can connect to organizations which are dealing with analytics case studies. You can try and connect with us, right? So this basically creates your profile in data science world. It's a slow process, but you need to start at some point. And when you apply for these kind of job roles, this LinkedIn profile would really help you projecting, saying that, hey, I am in this world, I belong to this world. I'm not from a Java background, or I'm not from a coding background. I'm from a data science background. Social media. This also plays very crucial part. Your Facebook account, your Instagram account, Twitter account, right? All these things, you need to join groups. There are a lot of groups where an open discussions happen related to data science or data analytics area, right? So you need to be part of those groups and you need to contribute in those groups. Start answering the questions, participate in various hackathons, participate in various quizzes. In fact, we XLR conduct Facebook quiz. Every week you can win prizes. You just have to answer questions, right? So when you try and answer the questions, there are two benefits. One is, if you win, you'll get a prize, right? And the other way is, the second benefit is, you are gaining a lot of knowledge by answering these questions. If you know the answer, you immediately answer the question. If you don't know, you'll try to research on that question, right? So there is a constant learning. And try to participate in a lot of other activities which are related to these kind of platforms. Employee referral programs would be there. Try and connect to those people in your organizations who might help you refer your profile in various job requirements which are related to analytics. That's, of course, personal network is also very important. All these are developing your profile day in, day out into data analytics world. And look at this. This is the share, 36%, right? the job opportunities that we are seeing right now, the recruitments that we are seeing right now are happening on the information that is available from social media. So a lot of candidates are getting hired or getting calls by the organizations by looking at their social media profiles. So why don't you start developing your social media profile? LinkedIn to be taken into very serious considerations. Now, how do we get calls from recruiters? Now, remember one thing. When you are trying to apply in data science world, you might think that you are a fresher in this world. For data science roles, right, you might feel that you are a fresher. But data science is not a technical role. It's not a technical role. Remember that. You're not going to be a developer. You're not going to sit down in front of an system and write lengthy codes. No. Data science is more like an R&D. In fact, I've already explained about this, right? So it's more like doing a lot of research. So if you have to do research, you need to be, right, having some domain knowledge. Without the basic domain knowledge, how can you do experimentations? You cannot, right? So for data science, you would not be a fresher. Your domain knowledge plays very important role in applying for your data science roles. I mean, applying for various data science roles. And always choose your domain. Always choose the opportunities which are coming from your domain. Say, for example, you are from a finance background. Try to apply to organizations or job requirements which are talking about analytics in finance domain. Financial analytics. If you are from HR, apply in HR analytics related roles. Right? So domain knowledge plays very, very crucial role. And try to stick to your domain because you already have gained a lot of experience working in that domain or maybe studying in that particular area in your academics. Right? So you will never be considered as a fresher. Remember that. You're always an experienced person because you know about the domain. And the salaries that you have seen, approximately 143K US dollars. This is what we have seen, right? This is the data scientist salary on an average in Glassdoor in US, which is very high. In fact, you can talk to any of your friends if you have in US. They can explain about what kind of salary is this. Trust me, it's a very huge salary. For chartered accountants, you will generally get 110, right? Maybe 120K at max. US dollars I'm talking about. But for data scientists who does not even have a lot of experience or for a person who doesn't know coding skills, they are being offered 140, 150Ks. Okay, so salaries are very high and they are very much in line with what salaries you are drawing currently. And on top of that, you can easily jump to 30% or more hike, minimum. Okay, so what you have to do basically here to gain this kind of salary packages is do a lot of projects. You need to work on a lot of projects. Do a lot of research. Perform proof of concepts. Participate in a lot of hackathons. Right? Create GitHub repository. This is another very important point, which basically talks about the entire work that you have done all these years maybe, and then you can also profile your GitHub repository to showcase your analytics work that you have done. Maybe you might have worked with 3 different projects, right? So all those three different projects can be hosted in GitHub repository. So create an account immediately, try and explore what is that. And there will be 3 channels, and where you will have different versions again. These are different versions for the 3 projects, assume. Right? So all this information would be readily available in GitHub repository, and you can share this link, right, in your profile saying that, hey, this is what I've done. These are the projects that I've contributed on, right? Then Kaggle Rankles, as I said, hackathons and competitions. You have to take participation in these competitions and hackathons a lot. Try and just randomly jump into a hackathon if you get an opportunity, and see what kind of models you can build and try to solve those business problems in the hackathons. This Kaggle competitions are pretty much handy. There is a website called Kaggle, kaggle.com. Let me show you. So this is your Kaggle, your home for data science. Kaggle is an online community of data scientists and machine learners. This is owned by Google, right? So it allows users to find and publish data sets and conduct competitions. You can see that's a very important thing here in Kaggle. Competitions. These are open competitions, and if you win, you'll get a huge prize money as well. They declare the prize money. Look at that. These are all the various competitions that are conducted on Kaggle. Randomly look at your Kaggle competitions and take participation in participate in one of the models which you feel you can work for. So if you are from a finance background, maybe predict stock movements or something that you might want to look into. Similar, into finance, right? Audio tagging. This is you can say it's more like a audio analysis that we perform. Digit recognizer. So this is an inbuilt data set, MNIST. Somebody has just randomly started a competition and you can participate in, right? So this way you will learn. When you have a tough competition, you learn. Okay, so that's something that you have to do, guys. In short, I would recommend you people to create your profile on social media platform. LinkedIn, GitHub, Kaggle, then there are various other hackathons that are generally conducted. Participate in that. You might want to create a profile name as well, right? So just look at it like fun and learning. Okay. Now, when you prepare for resume, there are certain do's, ifs and buts, do's and don'ts. You need to look into that. The first thing is the keywords that you are using, right, has to be in line to the data science world and terminology. So try and find out those keywords and have those keywords in your profile. Very, very important. Right? So a lot of people just say the short names. A lot of people overdo their profile. They add 100 different things. You don't understand all the things out there. That's absolutely understandable by everyone. So don't mention too many things that you are not comfortable with. If you are comfortable with only 10 things, mention those 10 things but detailedly explain them. Right? And remember, I said you have to do a lot of projects. Yeah? So you need to do a lot of projects, POCs. Yeah? Talk to your domain experts. You might be working in different areas, different domains. Talk to your senior folks. Understand what can be done better. Right? And maybe you try to implement that as a POC, proof of concept. Let's say you're discussing with your senior and he has brought out a very interesting point. Now, you need to try and explain them saying that, hey, if this is a business problem, right, if I can get a sample data, right, sample data, then yeah, this is what I can do. I can derive a concept, and you need to define how do you, right, implement that concept to solve that business problem. So we generate a sample data, we implement machine learning logics on that, and then we talk about the solutions that can be implemented in that scenario. This is called as POC. So you have to do a lot of POCs, right? And try to do more projects on these techniques. Decision tree classifier, then you might want to talk about neural network, right? Then you might want to talk about clustering, regression. Yeah, so these are something that you might want to focus on to begin with. And yeah, this is also another thing, very important thing. Don't ever mention that you are learning data science or you are just learn the data science. You don't have to highlight that point. Everybody has to learn some or the other day. You don't have to project saying that I just learned it today. Okay, so don't mention that, but you know, you mention that you know data science. When, how, that's not required. Okay, so don't mention about the training details, right? So a lot of people mention about some Coursera certifications that they do, right? Online exams would be there by various organizations, various institutes which conduct the training for data science, data scientists. A lot of people mention that, hey, I have got the certification from the so-and-so website. That's not required. Do not mention about that. Especially when you're experienced, you don't have to project that. Very, very important. You talk about your profile, right? You talk about your projects. That's more important for an interviewer as well. So this is what you have to do. Build LinkedIn profile if you already do not have already. Then update your profile with data science skills. Like you want to talk about regression skills, prediction skills. You might say that, hey, I also know classification techniques. So all those skill sets have to be updated in your LinkedIn profile, right? And see how you can get some recommendations or endorsements from your friends on these skills, right? And it's a constant update that you need to do. It's not a one-time job. You need to keep on doing it. Okay, and in short, your profile should look like you are a data scientist. And when you are actually ready and when you want to apply for job roles, right, you might want to take a premium account for your LinkedIn. Okay, there will be a premium paid account. This would actually help in reaching to appropriate connections, right? And yeah, LinkedIn do help if you take your premium account. If you take that subscription, then LinkedIn itself helps you reach the right forum, right people, right? So you might want to look into that as well. Yeah, no shortcuts. That is very important. You cannot say that, hey, I will learn data science in 1 month and I'll get a job. That's not going to happen. It might happen, but in very, very rare cases. You need to put effort. It's a learning, right? You are learning something new. So it will take time and you need to do hands-on. You need to do hands-on. Right? So remember, the first things that you have to do immediately after session is LinkedIn profile if you do not have it. Then explore on how to start your GitHub profile, GitHub repository. See what all competitions you can enroll in Kaggle. and not just enrolling. Okay, don't just enroll and sit idle. You do something. Take the data and do something, right? And when you do the competitions, Kaggle competitions, make to try and get your ranking up, right? And organizations are looking at these competitions, and if you are there in the top 100, a lot of people compete, right? There's millions of people compete, and if you can come up with your prediction models and your solutions in such a way that if you can target getting a rank in 100, first 100, then you don't have to worry about anything. In fact, you don't have to apply. People will come to you. Organizations come to you for hiring you. Okay, so meetup groups are there. This is something that you might want to check out. Like this, there are a lot of other open platforms where people discuss a lot of things about data science and its community and its related roles, right? So participate in that. That's okay. You might feel that you are very new, you don't know anything. That's okay. Everybody starts from zero, right? Just log in and start contributing. And this is how your project structure should be there in resumes. When you fill up with your project, your profile with the project details, you need to follow this syntax. First, you need to talk about what was the objective of that project, why you actually started doing that project, right? What do you want to achieve? Then you might want to talk about different methods and algorithms that you have implemented. What tool did you use? Did you use R? Did you use Python, or did you use SAS? Right? Maybe MATLAB. So what tool did you use? And trust me, tool does not play a crucial role, guys. There are n number of tools outside, out there. The most famous being now Python, and of course R, and of course they are next followed by a lot of other licensed softwares. These two are open sources. Okay, that's another advantage why a lot of research happens using these profiles, these languages. Open source, right? So you can simply download. Now, what kind of EDA techniques you have done? After once you have declared all these things, then what logics have you applied? What techniques you have applied to analyze the data? That is something that you have to explain. And brief description about the project. When you are talking about project, give a outline of the project. How did you collect the data if data was not available? What is the size of the data that you have actually considered for working on this? What methods, machine learning algorithms have you used? Right? If there is any unique method you have used, that is also something that you might want to understand and project. Then error functions or accuracy of the model or error of the model. If I know error, I will know accuracy. If I know accuracy, I will know error. Right? And how did you report these results and how did you deploy the project? This is also something that you might want to learn about. Okay, so there are different softwares that you might want to use for deployment. R Studio being one of that, R Markdown, then you have Flask. Right, like this, you have a lot of tools for deploying a project. You might want to develop a mobile app in Android. You have developed a statistical model, machine learning algorithm, and you might want to come up with a mobile application in Android or maybe iOS, right? So this way, how do you deploy your model is something that you also need to work upon. R Studio and Flask are kind of commonly used tools for deploying a project. And once you apply the solution to your clients, how did client get benefit out of it? Right? If you can quantify the benefits, like cost to the company was reduced significantly by 70% or 80% by applying HR analytics model. That is what management wants. That is what management looks for. What is the benefit? Cost-based analysis is what they study, right? So if you can quantify the benefit, nothing like it. It's going to be, right? very well received by the recruiters. Prepare detailed document. Now when you say, I have done project 1, project 2, project 3 in my, let's say, 3 years of experience, then you should be able to come up with documentation, detailed document about your project. Yeah, of course. One thing that you have to look at is don't overdo your profile. Don't say you have worked on 10 different projects. Don't mention that. Maybe 3 projects is also a very big number within 1 year for an organization or for a profile. One year, 3 projects, real-time deployments is a lot of work, right? And we also help you. Of course, when you actually complete your assignments and work on the project, right? We do help you on achieving the business objectives by giving you a guidance on how to work on that particular data. Right? Now, before you go to your interview, just go through the entire documentation that we have collected and check the code as well. You have deployed any model, then there would be some code. So we need to verify that code works. Okay, that's very important. And anyways, the assignments that you are doing, keep doing them, but you can also try doing them multiple times without seeing. Yeah, this way you will get more grip on the subject, and you would be able to showcase your profile as a senior profile or profile with a lot of confidence, and you can try and have quote a higher value, higher market value. Now, how do you prepare? You need to attend all the lectures that we take. Attend all the lectures. Try and understand what concepts we are discussing. Learn these offline. Play through the video. LMS Access is provided to you, learning management system, wherein all these codes are, all these videos are uploaded there. And as a user, you just have to refer to that specific video. Right? This way, we are helping in the lectures. Yeah. So in short, focus on statistics, regression, classification techniques are also known as machine learning algorithms here, and EDA and imputation, pre-processing basically, right? That is also very important. You might also want to see data security policies. Now when you prepare, right, try and do your solutions in either in R or Python. Very, very important. That's how you are going to get hands-on. R or Python. The codes have to be run in R or Python. Right? So get that hands-on. So that when the interviewer is going to ask you about some code, you should be able to interpret the code and answer it. And in data science community, right, your historical data is very important, right? So an interviewer is analyzing your profile and then conducting quiz, right? Conducting exam or interview. So we look into we look into all that historical data, all our current profile and past profile. We look at this past profile and then we ask questions to the candidate based on the past profile. I generally do that. I'm also a recruiter. I do a lot of interviews. So I also look at the profile. What is his current condition? What is his current role? And how easily he can shift into analytics. Right? If I have to understand, I need to look at the profile, right? So this is what we need to do. Prepare a proper storyline. Remember, data scientists are also known as good storytellers. So we should be able to project the story to the recruiter. And this is how a typical job description looks like. Roles and responsibility, if you say analysis and model structure data using advanced statistical methods. We should be able to understand what does terminology say. Perform exploratory data analysis, generate and test working hypotheses. Prepare and analyze historical data and identify patterns. Right? Analyze data using R. So we look into the data using any of the programming language, which is an open source, right? So organizations are looking for people who are aware of R or Python, because those are the go-to tools for performing these kind of machine learning algorithms. We perform machine learning, text mining, statistical analysis, classification, collaborative filtering, association rules, sentiment analysis. All these are part of model building. Right? Now, once out of all these all these JDs, right, we select one model which is giving us the best result. Right? So that would be deployed in the client's premises or client's data, and then we try to predict for new clients. And when you generate reports, of course, you should be able to generate reports, and you should be able to explain those reports. Educational skills, yeah, this is something they require. Technical skills, you should be aware of these highlighted things. If you look at it, machine learning, statistical modeling, data mining, association rules, collaborative filtering, advanced regressions, etc., etc., etc. We need to look into all these keywords and try to make sure you understand those words, right? And if you are receiving any job description, recruitment offer, call for an interview, make sure you understand the organization thoroughly. What kind of business this organization does? What is the data analytics team or data scientist team doing in the organization? Right? If you do that research, you will come to know what you can expect in the interview. Right? So, very important. And this is how the project has to be explained in the interview. And remember, I said data science or data scientist is a storyteller. So you need to create a story to explain the business problem that the client is facing and the implementation of a proper solution and the benefits to your solution. And when you apply your solution, what are the benefits to the organization? Right? So we need to explain the entire project in this sense. And if you are expected to do this, right, unless until you do hands-on, you will not be able to talk about these different stages. Rather than reading and going for a project, if you do a hands-on, right, you gain that experience, you gain that confidence, and you will also be able to talk about related questions when you actually do some hands-on. You might face a lot of issues when you're doing hands-on, but that is a learning curve, right? You learn a lot of things. Okay. So all these are something that you would be wanting to do for a data science profile, right? And Taufik, are you there? Yeah, Taufik is there. Jack is there. Maybe you people can share your experience. How many interviews you have attended? Then what kind of interview questions did you face? Maybe you might want to share for 5 minutes. Maybe Taufik. Yeah, Taufik, you there? Hello? Let me see. Oh, okay. Sure, Jack, no problem. Okay, I think Taufik is hmm, not sure. Fine.
Hello?
Hi, yeah, Taufik.
Hello? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So what kind of experiences did you have when you are facing interview, Taufik?
Okay. So during the interview, first they asked me for the project, what project I have done.
Very good, yes.
Uh, but before that, I want to tell about the first interview.
Mm-hmm.
First interview, when I go in Delhi, they immediately give a laptop, then ask me to answer the question on the spot, like a preliminary test lah.
Very good, yeah.
And the question is really on data exploration, data preparation.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, during my first interview, I'm fail. I consider myself fail because I can't even answer like uh, the questions very well,
Mm-hmm.
even though it only uh, regarding data preparation.
Yes,
But from that,
under
from
the project you asked about data preparation, right?
yeah,
So
and this is my first interview. What I learned from that, after that, I realized that we need to make ourselves at least familiar with simple tasks like uh, cleansing, and
how,
also visualize something.
so Taufik, let me
So
stop you here 1 second. So
mm,
what kind of demand have you seen when you are applying for these job roles?
yeah, for lot of demands. I think I think I got 3 or 4 interviews regarding this job. Even after I got this job, also I still keep getting the interview call for
Mm.
the data scientist.
Exactly.
So basically, what I learned is first my resume. I think when I changed something in my resume, then I noticed that I got more calls.
Very good, very good.
I
So
I, I mentioned all the things that in the discussion before that,
very
like mention especially skills, mention that I have to do this project.
good.
Then
What
I got many calls.
okay? What domain are you rightly of working on, Taufik? Domain. Which domain are you working?
Domain currently
Yes.
currently is telematics in automotive, which is I'm analyzing data from the device from the in the car
Hmm.
that they detect the data of cornering, braking, and every data regarding the driving behavior.
Exactly.
Then from that data, I'm used to help insurance company to profile their customers so that if their customer drive safely, then they will give discount 20% for example.
Very good.
Then then
Taufik,
the
so, yeah, sorry, Taufik. You also are working in healthcare domain, right? As part of your academic project.
yeah, this academic, yeah.
Yeah. So what I want to explain here to everyone is
Mm-hmm.
analytics is something which is applied for all the domains, right? Healthcare domain, there is one project.
Mm-hmm.
Automotive domain, automation domain,
Yeah,
let's say automobile,
yeah,
basically. Then you are also
yeah,
looking at insurance firm.
yeah.
Right? So all the domains basically have the requirement. This is what I want to highlight from your inputs, Tawfiq.
Sure. I think the domain is not the problem, because every single domain now they are asking for data analyst, data science.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you so much, Tawfiq. Thank you so much.
Thank you also, Tim, because helping me. Yeah.
No problem, Tawfiq. It's our job. No, don't worry. Yeah. So this is to yeah, friends. I'm asking Tawfiq to explain his experiences, because I want to tell you that there is a huge demand right now in the market. Okay, and it is not specifically, yeah, or specified for any one particular domain.
Sir.
Sorry, sorry, Tawfiq, you're saying something.
Hello.
Yeah, Tawfiq, you're saying something.
I want to mention one thing.
Yeah, please.
I'm not a good. I think a good in really fluent in the codings, but the thing is, we just need to do at least one project, then the skill will come automatically, like that. Like
Wonderful point.
all the
Point. So,
yeah.
yeah, thank you so much for that input. So, what Tawfiq is basically saying is he is not a programmer. He doesn't know how to write programs. Okay, he might be
Yeah,
knowing the program
clearly, yeah.
exactly, but he developed that skill by working on the projects. So the point is, you don't have to be coming from an IT background, or you don't have to be a programmer to work on analytics. Okay, right. So anyone has any questions specifically for your profile case that I might help you build your profile or something like that? Any questions? Anyone? Nobody has a question? Come on, guys. Everybody got questions. You have any questions? Please ask them. Please ask them. Okay. Strange. Okay. All right. So this is what I want you people to. Oh yes, absolutely, Jack. As I said, data science is a research stream, right? You would be doing a lot of research, but research using data. And if you understand business and if you understand the domain, understanding the data would be very easy. And once you understand the data, you would in fact enjoy researching on that data. Okay, and you don't have to yeah, really worry about programming part of things. As Taufik also explained, he was not a programmer initially, and in fact I'm not a programmer, but when I actually do some analysis on data, right, it is really fun. You tend to pick it up very easily. And these programming languages that we generally consider for data science community, which are basically R and Python, or Python and R, these are functional oriented programming languages, and they are very easy to pick up. It's not like object oriented programming languages, low level programming languages that we have. Java, C, Pascal. These are all these languages are object oriented languages, and they require lengthy coding capabilities, skills. You need to be a programmer. But in these programming languages, for them, Python and R, you don't have to be a programmer. Of course, having certain programming background would help, would assist, but it is not mandatory. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, Oliver, I think you had mentioned about something. Do you want to talk about the query now? Yeah, please. What's that query? What question do you have? Let me check. Hmm. Okay, finance and data science. So, what is your current profile, Oliver? What is that you are doing currently? Do you have any background in finance domain? What did you study?
Basically, I'm studying financial engineering.
Okay, very good. So you have all the required background that is required for you.
I have the basics of like C++, database, software engineering, and
Mhm.
network, something like that.
Wonderful.
But yeah. But only the simple things because I did it like a subject
That's
in
all
university.
required, Oliver. That is all what we require. Because when we talk about data science, right, the field that data science community or that study is basically by for analyzing data, right? And the data that you would be looking in would be from finance domain. I mean, you might be looking into a bank's data.
Yeah, exactly. What I want to do, like to combine finance with data science,
Exactly.
just to improve my CV.
Yeah, you need to upskill. Absolutely. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, but one thing I would recommend or suggest to you, Oliver, is try to do a lot of projects which are related to finance domain in analytics. So I've shown you that Kaggle website, right?
Yes.
Log into that. Check the various data sets would be available there. Take random data sets which are from finance background. Look at the business problems that they have defined for these data sets. Just experiment. So how can you analyze that data using various data mining and machine learning algorithms, right? Try and
Yeah.
apply them and see what kind of results you get. So this would enhance your knowledge in both finance domain and the data science domain, data mining concepts as well.
But can you talk about how we can start learning data science from the simple beginning?
Okay. So if you have to start with data science learnings, right? The first thing you have to look into is your mathematical skills. Now, I'm not trying to scare you, but yeah, this mathematics skills is very much required, and we would be looking into the basic mathematics skills. Basic, very basic. So you might have learned about vectors. You might have learned about matrix. You might have learned about probabilities, right? So these are things that we start off learning. This is the part of basic statistics. That's the first module you need to be thorough with. And when I say basic statistics, it is really basics. You don't have to really work hard because we all already know all these concepts from our school days. Okay. Post this, we need to understand data mining concepts. Again, these data mining concepts are developed on these basic mathematical logics. Say, for example, what is the equation of a straight line? In school days, we have learned it, right? Y is equals to mx plus c. What is conditional probability? Bayes theorem. We know probability. What is conditional probability? This is also something that we have learned in our school days. So using these kind of logics, we come up with data mining algorithms which help us do predictive analytics. Descriptive and predictive analytics. Of course, predictive is more appropriate in the job world, because that's something that organizations look for. Descriptive analytics, of course, is a prior requirement before you do predictive analytics. So you would be doing descriptive as well. So when I say descriptive analytics, you are basically talking about reports, various kind of reports that you generate, right, by understanding the data. And once you understand that, you would be doing predictive analytics using these logics. Okay, and post this, once you have got the results for your predictions, you would have to project them, right, in a nice visualized manners. I mean, you have to create good visualizations to showcase your results to clients, your clients, right? And if you just give a Word document saying these are my findings, it might not attract. But if you can present them in beautiful images, live movie kind of presentations, that would actually attract your clients, right? So that visualization skills should also be learned. And this is where you will have Power BI, then you have the Tableau, which is the best tool in visualizations, right? All these things are something that you have to learn. These are tools, of course. Now, one thing you might want to also check is your programming skills. Now, as I said, programming skills are something you really don't have to worry, because if you have basics, you're saying that you already know C++, you have worked with SQL queries and all that, right? So those queries are very much enough to start off with, okay? And we would be learning Python and R, or you might want to choose only one, either R or Python, okay? And these are fun to learn. Trust me, these are fun to learn. And if you spare 4 to 5 hours, right, on maybe continuously for 1 week, you would be able to write programs in these programming languages, Python and R. 4 to 5 hours on 1 week, that is, let's say you have 7 days a week. If you say even 5 hours, that would be like 35 hours. And that should be more than enough to start off writing programs in these programming languages, and you will love it. They are fun. So this is generally the process that we follow. And from XLR, we give assignments. Okay, for all our participants, all our students, we give assignments. You can think of this as a homework, okay? In school days, we used to do homework, right? So assignments, you can imagine them as like homework. And this assignments are, right, basically making sure, these assignments are making sure that you do hands-on. This is how you would be practicing on the concepts. And we are very strict on hands-on. Unless until you do work on these concepts, you would not learn the finer nuances. So you have to do practice, right? And we have certain deadlines for the assignment submissions. Okay, so once you complete these assignments, you would also be given opportunity to work on projects that we work on. We do work on a lot of projects as part of our consulting engagements with various clients, and you would be given opportunity to work on those projects as well, provided you complete the assignments. Okay, that's a mandatory thing. So this takes a little journey. Learning curve will be there. It's a journey, right? But trust me, if you concentrate very seriously on upskilling yourself and migrating your career into data science world, you might want to invest minimum of 3 months of time, your time, in learning everything, like attending the classes, learning the concepts, then completing the project assignments, and then working on the projects, right? It might take somewhere around 3 months to 4 months, but trust me, you would not reap, you would not regret this. You would be reaping the benefits. The salary packages that you are going to see would definitely increase a lot from what you are drawing right now. So in short, the learning curve would be from somewhere from 3 to 4 months. Yeah, Oliver, hope I have answered your question. Noor, you don't have to worry. When I say domain, I'm talking about some experience that you already have. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to have an IT experience alone, right? You are saying that you are a teacher, so you would have experience on multiple domains. It's not just one domain, right? So try and see what interests you more, and maybe you concentrate doing more projects in that particular area. That's how you enhance your domain knowledge, right? So you have an opportunity to choose your own domain. Other people don't have that. They have some experience, so they have to stick to that domain. Yeah, Hafiz, please post your question.
Hello, hi Sharat.
Yeah, hi Hafiz.
Hello, hi Sharat. Hi.
Yeah, Hafiz.
Yes, okay, all right. So my question is that, basically increasingly we have this Microsoft Azure to, for example, this no-code platform
Yeah.
to basically facilitate the process of the coding itself, right? But and increasingly it's becoming more and more powerful in that sense. But will it be considered as a useful skill to learn specific platform, for example, or but understand that you still have to learn the foundation, for example, either R or Python. What's your view on this? Yeah.
Okay, so see, we understand, right? We see and understand that the industry is shifting its focus more towards analytics, right? Data world, big data analytics, and all these terminologies. Now, when you look into various domains and various organizations, you may not have an appropriate skill set for analyzing their data, right? And organizations are not ready or not willing to invest in resources who can do these kind of analytics. Okay, there might be various reasons, right? So what you have to actually look at here is how organizations are, or what are the alternative ways for organizations to implement analytics in their work area. And this is where the organizations like Azure, Microsoft, Google, AWS, right? They have developed these cloud platforms, right? In fact, I've recently shared one article in my LinkedIn profile where Google has come up with a new policy. They are giving a platform for startups to build their solutions on GCP cloud platform, Google Cloud platform, and this Google Cloud is going to do a revenue sharing for these startups. Now, what is my point is, you don't have to hire people who actually are programmers, because when you talk about analytics, a lot of people are not from programming background. They are more like a subject oriented, functional oriented people. They have domain knowledge. Now, if I ask them to sit down and write codes, they may not be able to do it. There might be people who upskill themselves, they do it, but there might be some people who do not want to do it. So in such cases, these ready-made solutions which are provided on cloud would be go-to solutions. What you're doing, you have ready-made solutions, they are AI-based solutions. You just pass your data, and you get solution. These are right ready-made solutions. Underneath these solutions, right, the developers are writing codes only, the same codes that you will be learning using R and Python, same logics. But these are like somebody has written for you readily, and you're using them using some graphical interface, right? So this is what my take is on these tools, ready-made machine learning on cloud tools are. They have certain limitations, of course. They give a lot of flexibility to organizations to focus more on their business and not on analytics part. But at the same time, they do not have the flexibility to do a lot of research in different angles. These are ready-made solutions which are provided, right? So they are more like one-dimensional or two-dimensional analysis models. You might want to try out something unique. In such cases, these ready-made solutions will not come handy. You have to go back to your square one platform where you might want to implement the solutions using the programming languages, R and Python. Right? Though I have explained it in a very lengthy way, hope I have answered your question. Yeah. All right. Okay. So first things, guys, the first thing that you want to do right now is enhance your LinkedIn profile. Enhance your LinkedIn profile. Connect with various people. Start preparing your profile. Complete your assignments so that you will be working on projects. This is very important, right? And once you start working on projects, the same thing can be updated in your profile as well, in your resume as well. Okay, and try and reach out with various organizations, competitions, right? Different profiles would be there on LinkedIn. Try to connect with those people. Try to market your profile with them, and if you get a job opportunity, I mean requirement for job requirement or interview call, you might want to discuss the job description with us. You might want to talk about that so that we can help you on how you can prepare for that interview, right? So these are something that you have to do immediately, and post that, when you get a call, we would be helping you, we would be glad to help you on how to prepare those for that interview. All right, any questions, anyone? Glad, Jack. Okay, ciao. Okay, so yeah, we are starting off a new project in today or tomorrow, a couple of days, I'm guessing. I'm not sure the date. I think today or tomorrow. Yeah. So people who have completed their assignments, they would be added into that project. They would be given an opportunity to work on the project. Yeah. So don't miss the opportunity, guys. Focus on your assignments, the learnings, and try to complete them. Get the opportunity to work on the projects. All right. With that, let me conclude. And if you have any queries, please reach back to us. We will be very glad to help you in whatever possible way we can, so that you can transform your careers into a data analytics world. Thank you so much, and good evening, guys.